So this is your in-between webinars video, your video learning for this week. And this is a sharing of an idea that was introduced to me several years ago now, to help you understand your current therapeutic framework, and where AAT or AAP might fit in for you. So we start off with, and I'm using my own therapeutic framework as an example here, but you can start from the outside and work your way in, or inside and work your way out, whichever works. But I like to start off with the two squares, and for me to start off with, it was probably a little bit of a fill in the bit in the middle, and then one bit on the outside, and then one more bit in the middle, and yeah. So I'm showing you the neatened version, but this could be quite a sketch pad kind of thing, and I'll include some blank templates for you to have a play with. But where I would, if you're working from the outside in, where I suggest you start is the outer square. And that outer square is what contains everything that you do in session. It's the question that you ask yourself to fill this in is, how do I want my clients to feel at the end of our sessions? And for me, the types of things that I want my clients to feel from me and to feel for themselves after a session is compassion is a huge one. I want my clients to feel that sense of nurturance and compassion that they may not have a lot of experience with. I want them to feel energized and recharged. I want to have used my creativity to help them see things in a new way, perhaps. I want to open up that box in their head that is stuck with all its rigid negative thoughts or maladaptive patterns of behavior. I want to open that up and let them explore different ways of looking at things. I want them to feel empowered. I want them to feel like I can do this. I want them to feel like, Danielle has given me these tools, these resources, these ideas, and I can take them away and really make something positive with these. And I really want to emphasize a sense of generosity. I think a lot of the problems that we encounter clinically and personally stem from a lack of generosity of spirit. So I'm not talking so much about, giving them an extra 10 minutes or, giving them, bulk billing everyone or anything like that. I'm talking about going into each day, again, clinically or personally, with the attitude of, look, for the most part, people are doing the best that they can, and I'm going to be generous in my assumptions. And I like my clients to get a sense of that. I like them to, again, sort of remove some of that rigidity that might be everyone's out to get me, or nobody gives a shit about anybody else, or whatever it might be. I really like to instill that sense that, you know what, yeah, so-and-so might have screwed you over with that move, but look, they may not have even been aware that it was something you were after. It's, or they're just doing the best they can to scrape by. So those are sort of my, there's lots of other things as well, but those, when I really break it down, those are the things that are kind of most important to me, that I am demonstrating in sessions and that my clients feel when they walk away. The middle square is kind of your theoretical frameworks. So not your individual modalities, so not whether you do schema therapy or CBT or whatever, but the theories that underpin your modalities. So for me, attachment-based work is really, really, really important. A lot of my work, whatever I'm doing in the session specifically, whatever specific strategy I'm using in the session, a lot of it will come back to dealing with the client's early attachments and how that's impacted their current relationships and that kind of thing. And just obviously, well, no, we'll get to that. But I think you can probably already see how well animal-assisted therapy fits in with my framework. The other thing that is really important to me and that informs a lot of my treatment decisions, a lot of my interventions, is that I come from a trauma-informed place. That and whether that's big T trauma, little t trauma, generational trauma, cultural, societal traumas, whatever it might be, I'm thinking about, what has this person survived to create these behaviors that I'm seeing, basically. But coming from that trauma-informed place is really important for me as well. I love the neurobiology of trauma, of attachment. I love looking at, okay, so this is what happened, this is how it's probably impacted the brain, and this is how what's happening in the brain now is impacting their behavior, their thoughts, their personality, whatever it might be now. So the neurobiology of attachment, of trauma, and of the neurodevelopmental trauma in particular is kind of brings it all together for me. What do I know about this person's early childhood history? What do I know about, their ACEs scores, that kind of thing, that's going to inform my treatment approach, my selection of intervention, all of that kind of stuff. So again, you can possibly see, and again, it will make more sense next week when we go into the theories of AAT, but certainly one of the theories that I prescribe to is that at its core, AAT is a bottom-up approach, which tends to work really well in neurodevelopmental trauma, attachment trauma, that type of thing. We're not dealing with the cognitive layer. We're dealing with the feelings and the kind of the lower brain functions, not the executive functioning stuff, the more basic emotional brain. And then, so my framework informs the selection of my kind of core go-to strategies and modalities. So I love working with schema, with EMDR. I still have quite a strong CBT base. I don't think you could say that I have ever done straight CBT in a long time. I haven't done straight CBT in a long time, but it informs a lot of my formulations. It informs a lot of my early psychoeducation that I give to clients, and it's still quite a core part of what I do. And the animal-assisted therapy. So that is my therapeutic framework. This changes over time. This looks different now than it did 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago. And I think that's good. I think it should evolve. 4 years ago, it wouldn't have included EMDR, which seems insane now. It was actually I was using much more DBT. But this is where it has evolved to. So I would strongly encourage you to print out the guide and give it a go. See what you come up with. If you feel like sharing it into the AAT group or send it through via email, I would love to see what you come up with. And then when we get into more of the theory side next week, you're going to have a really good idea of maybe which theory is going to fit in best with your framework, that's going to make AAT really kind of come together and click for you. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you found this useful and interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye.